Hi, good people. My name is Mr. Estrala. I'm the founder of the Shepherd Foundation Resource Center. Good people, I'd like to invite you to join my WhatsApp group. I offer free online lessons. My WhatsApp number is 078-349-1275. And then one last thing, guys, make sure that you support my new YouTube channel by subscribing. Alright, if you're in Bulawayo, I offer weekend classes Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Country Park. Alright, today, guys, we want to talk about Napoleon Bonaparte foreign policy. When we are talking about Napoleon Bonaparte foreign policy, we are simply talking about the things that Napoleon did in Europe. We want to talk about the things that Napoleon did in Europe. That's what we call the foreign policy. So guys, Napoleon's foreign policy is divided into two. Napoleon's foreign policy is divided based on two factors. Number one, we have got the foreign policy from 1800 to 1807. From 1800 to 1807, Napoleon was so successful, but after 1807, Napoleon was an ultimate failure. I will show you how during the course of the lesson, guys. So guys, make sure that you know that 1807 was a turning point on Napoleon's foreign policy. So make sure that you know from 1807 going back, Napoleon is successful. From 1807 going forward, Napoleon is a failure. So guys, I'm going to first talk about the methods that Napoleon used to control his empire. Number one, Napoleon used military conquest. Two, Napoleon used diplomacy. Three, Napoleon used revolutionary ideas. Four, Napoleon used the dynasty policy. And five, Napoleon used the continental system. So all these things, they are going to be explained during the course of the lesson. Guys, remember, this lesson is an overview. I want you to understand the foreign policy. So it's not a detailed lesson, but it's just an overview. It's just a guideline, guys. So make sure you listen to this audio. Soon after listening to this audio, make sure that you read. Make sure that you read. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to inbox Mr. Estrala. All right, guys, let's go to Napoleon's foreign policy. Guys, in 1800, when Napoleon got into power, there was what is known as the second coalition. So the first problem that Napoleon faced was the second coalition. However, Napoleon managed to defeat the second coalition. He fought against Austria, and Austria was defeated. But guys, there is a weakness there. Why did Napoleon fought a single nation to defeat the second coalition? It's a clear sign that the European powers were not united because of suspicion and mistrust. So Napoleon defeated the second coalition by defeating a single nation. You talk of Austria, and Austria was defeated in so many battles. That is what is known as the military conquest. For example, talk of Battle of Marengo. After the defeat of Austria, Napoleon he signed a peace treaty with Austria known as the Peace Treaty of Luneville. That is diplomacy. What is diplomacy, guys? When we are talking about diplomacy, it is a skill of managing foreign relations. Napoleon was very good at dealing with international relations. We see him defeating Austria at the Battle of Marengo. That is military conquest. And after that, Napoleon, he signed a peace treaty, the Peace Treaty of Luneville. That is what, guys? That is diplomacy. Are you together so far? And after that, the only enemy that was left was Britain. However, at that particular time, Napoleon was not ready to fight against or to declare a war against Britain. However, he also used diplomacy. He signed a treaty in 1802 with Britain, the treaty that is known as the Treaty of Amiens. He signed a treaty with Britain known as the Treaty of Amiens. However, guys, if you understand, if you read very well, you realize that Napoleon signed this treaty as a breather. Why? Because he wanted to consolidate his position in France. And you read deeper, you realize that the treaty only lasted for a year, from 1802 to 1803. All parties, actually, they breached the treaty, which also led to the renewal of the war. So guys, let me just give you a brief summary. When Napoleon got into power, he defeated the second coalition, but he fought against a single nation. And guys, there's also a comment on that. That's the reason why it took long for European countries to defeat Napoleon, because these countries were not united. And then after that, after the defeat of the second coalition, he signed a peace treaty with Austria known as the Treaty of Luneville. After the Treaty of Luneville, the only enemy that was left was Britain, and Napoleon signed the Treaty of Amiens, and the Treaty of Amiens was a breather for Napoleon Bonaparte. And then all parties, they breached the treaty, which led to the renewal of the war. And in 1805, Napoleon wanted to invade Britain, but however, this was impossible. Why? Because Napoleon was defeated at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. Make sure you read about the Battle of Trafalgar. And Napoleon had a temporal alliance with Spain, and Napoleon also used Danish and Spanish fleet. But let me tell you something. One of the reasons why Napoleon was defeated at the Battle of Trafalgar, it was because of the fact that Napoleon never possessed adequate navy. And if you read very well, you realize in this battle, Britain managed to sink all the ships that were used by Napoleon, but Napoleon failed even to sink even a single ship for Britain. That's why he asserted that Britain is the shark of the sea. Britain was the shark of the sea, but he also asserted that that's Napoleon, I am the tiger of the land. And the same year in 1805, another coalition was formed. So it is clear, guys, the coalition that was formed, it was known as the Third Coalition. The Third Coalition was formed. But guys, let me just give you a brief background about the Third Coalition. Napoleon managed to defeat combined forces of Austria. Napoleon managed to defeat the combined forces of Austria and Russia at the Battle of Arm and at the Battle of Austerlitz. And make sure that you read about the Battle of Arm. Make sure that you read about the Battle of Austerlitz. That it's a sign that Napoleon, he was successful because of military conquest. He managed to humiliate big powers like Austria, like Russia. They were defeated at the Battle of Austerlitz and the Battle of Arms. So guys, let me show you something. Prussia was neutral. Prussia never joined the Third Coalition. She thought she was going to be rewarded by Napoleon to be neutral. She was neutral because she wanted rewards from Napoleon Bonaparte. She wanted some territories from Napoleon Bonaparte. So she never joined the Third Coalition. So guys, we see European countries, they were not united. That's why Napoleon was successful. Give an illustration of Prussia being neutral during the formation of the Third Coalition. However, later he realized it was a blunder not to join the Third Coalition. Prussia joined the Third Coalition, but it was now too late. When he joined the Third Coalition, she fought against Napoleon at the Battle of Jena, and Prussia was defeated. And we see Russia again declaring another war with France, and Russia was defeated at the Battle of Friedland. And we see Napoleon signing another treaty, the Treaty of Tilsit. Remember, guys, after the Battle of Austerlitz, Austria also signed another treaty, the Treaty of Prussia. Make sure you read about the Treaty of Prussia. But the great power that was defeated at the end was Russia at the Battle of Friedland, and they signed the Treaty of Tilsit. After signing the Treaty of Tilsit, Napoleon was so lenient with Russia because he wanted Russia to join the continental system, but he was harsh with Prussia. So guys, after the Treaty of Tilsit, Napoleon was left with Britain again, but it was clear to Napoleon that the invasion of Britain was impossible. So Napoleon, he devised a new method to defeat Britain because he realized that Britain was the king of the sea. So, and at the same time, Napoleon did not have navy, did not have adequate navy. So he devised another way to cripple British trade, and the method was known as the continental system. So Napoleon, he issued the Melin and the Berlin decrees, whereby he blocked all British goods from coming into Europe. And at the same time, Napoleon confiscated all the British goods in Europe. But guys, that was a blunder again. Why? But let me just give you the reason why Napoleon did this. Napoleon used the continental system because he realized the reason why Britain was so powerful, it was because of their resources, it was because of their wealth and their economic strength. So Napoleon wanted to cripple British strength, economical strength. So Napoleon, he declared an economic warfare. So he hoped that Britain was going to suffer as a result of the continental system. But however, it was an opposite. European countries, they started to suffer, not Britain, because Britain was rich, and yet so many